All answers lie within. Anything that you need to know about yourself, anything that you are seeking guidance on, guidance exists in yourself, but are you actively giving yourself the space to access that guidance? Are you giving yourself the tools to access that guidance? Hi friends, Zoe here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today is Self-Love Sunday in November, and today I'm going to be talking to you about self-love and writing. So I have found that writing has naturally been very therapeutic for me throughout my life, but I want to talk to you more in depth about ways that I've learned to love myself through specific writing practices. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. So just coming off of yesterday's video, I cried. I live healed in front of you guys. I did mention that I had a journal that I was keeping on my table. So if you guys didn't see that video, it will be linked below, but just a brief recap is that as I'm presently healing a deep wound, the deep wound of the unlovable, feeling unlovable, I've kept a journal on my table, so that kitchen island over there, and each time I feel an emotion arise, I will write into that emotion, and I'll see different things show up. I'll become more aware, and awareness is always 90% of the transformation. So anytime that we can bring awareness to an emotion or a feeling that's arising within us, or a pattern that we may have, awareness is always welcome, because awareness gets us that much closer to letting it go, right? Letting whatever is holding us back, keeping us feeling weighed down, we can release that. We can just let it go. We can just accept it for what it is and move through that. Just jumping off of that, I wanted to show you that this is the book that sits there on my table, and I just write into it. Sometimes it looks like a sentence or two, sometimes it looks like a few different pages. It's whatever is arising, I write into it so that I can bring awareness to it. And journaling in itself has been such an incredible tool for me over the years. My journaling practice has looked different, but there are a few things that remain the same. Yes, writing into emotions and stream of consciousness writing is very powerful. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But on a regular basis, one thing that I do in my journal is, after I'm done writing 3 things that I'm grateful for and the reasons why, that's very important, write the reasons why so that you can feel into the gratitude first. I then write a full page of I am statements in here. Every day. Before I go look at my phone, before I go do anything else, I write an entire page of I am statements, and I don't know, that might be like 30 or something like that. And I just write whatever comes to the top of my mind. Like lately, a mantra that I'm liking and writing is, I am a catch, I am the prize, I am the whole damn vibe. Or I am love. I am beautiful. I am adored. I am guided. I am supported. And I write into those I am statements every single morning. They're different every day. Whatever I feel that I need to nurture myself, I give myself those I am statements. I fill my own cup in the morning with those. And that has really helped me to deepen my relationship with myself, to love myself more, because I highlight the things that I love about myself too. I am talented. I am gifted. I am creative. You see, I'm learning to acknowledge myself for myself. So when you acknowledge yourself, and that becomes a part of you, when you really feel into those acknowledgements, you do not reach for the outside reality, the outer reality, the 3D reality through people, places, things for validation. You simply have that validation within yourself, right? We're all whole, worthy, and complete on our own, but we have to recognize that for ourselves. We have to bring ourselves back and remember who we are. And the next thing that I wanted to tell you guys about is the practice of writing wisdom, which I incorporated into my life this year. I first learned about it this year, and it really granted me an incredible opportunity to love myself more deeply. And I learned this process, wisdom writing, through Renee Jenais. And I'm gonna leave Renee's website down below, her YouTube channel down below, her social media down below, so that you can get in touch with her. She's an incredible woman. She is a teacher, she is a shaman, she is the one who actually instructed these specific writing classes, which I'm going to be telling you about. She is incredibly gifted. And she allowed me and gave me the space to really see this new way of healing my subconscious mind, bringing things to the surface and healing through writing, allowing myself to love myself more deeply through my writing. So naturally, yes, I've always been a writer in my journal. I've published 4 books. I know how to write things, but there is a deeper level of writing that I was not aware of. And this is like stream of consciousness writing, but even more so with the power of a coach, a healer like Renee in her writing classes. So this was a structure that I would attend a writing class once a week in the evenings, and Renee would read us poetry, and there would often be different themes, and they would provoke emotions, and she would give us jump off lines and we would write into them, and we would all share as a group together. And it's sometimes, well, no, not all the time, it was very vulnerable. It was such a beautiful healing experience. I entered 2 different classes of Renee's, and that's why I want to talk to you guys about it today. I would be in a class right now this time of the year, but unfortunately with my school schedule it just didn't work out this time, but it's definitely something that I'm going to do in the future. So like I said, all the information for Renee will be linked down below, and I highly recommend attending one of her classes. Do this for yourself, because yes, you can write into your journal. Yes, you could do these things, but to have this structure each week where you're dedicating yourself to writing into your healing, like writing wisdom, it makes the hugest difference, right? We all need accountability in different ways, and this was a beautiful accountability group program to be a part of. Just such incredible woman. Renee naturally attracts because she is an incredible woman, and hearing other people share what is in their subconscious and being able to share what was in my subconscious was an extremely healing process. So through writing, after being prompted with an emotion, after being prompted with a piece, and writing into that, writing what it felt like, Renee advises us, don't let your hand or your pen leave the paper, just keep going until she lets us know that time is close and to wrap it up. And I would always be so amazed at what came out of my subconscious. It was very poetic most times. It sounded very poetic. Things would like rhyme. I would write into feelings and emotions and depths of things that I was not aware of. I would be prompted to write about things from the past that I didn't even think affected me in any way, but it did. And I learned so much about myself through that process, and it opened up this new area in me where, yes, now I have had the idea to have this journal and just write the stream of consciousness as it showed up. But it opened up this whole other side of me where I was able to see and acknowledge myself like, hey, I'm actually gifted at writing. Writing can hold great wisdom. All answers lie within, okay? You probably know that if you're watching my channel, that all answers lie within. Anything that you need to know about yourself, anything that you are seeking guidance on, that guidance exists in yourself, but are you actively giving yourself the space to access that guidance? Are you giving yourself the tools to access that guidance? Writing is an amazing tool to access that guidance. And sometimes it felt like I was just channeling. I was channeling the guidance or wisdom that I was seeking through writing. And all these gifts started to come through because I dedicated myself to that weekly practice. And I actually had to do a lot of like vulnerable writing, and still have to for acting school. Presently in a writing for actors class where I'm just able to be vulnerable in front of people, like sharing things from the depths. As vulnerable as it may be sometimes, as like nervous as it may be, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I know that it's cathartic for people and it heals people and it provokes emotion in people. You know, as much as triggers don't always feel good, they are always an invitation to heal. So if I can trigger an emotion in someone else, that's healing them, and that's good. It's good. It's good if you've ever felt, while watching my videos, if you've ever felt anything, that's good, because it's healing. And I wanted to share with you a piece of writing that I actually did for one of my classes, because I just feel like it was powerful, it was healing, and it just came out of me because I I invited it. I accessed this new space in me. All right, so here's the piece that I wrote. It's called A Glimpse Inside. Could you ever guess what happened to me? Not easily. The me that is on the inside is much different than the outside. The outside projects light and love. This is what I have learned to become. It's been a battle, to say the least. Countless nights crying into bed sheets. Therapy, energy healing, plant medicine, and more. I've battled this demon to its core. It started with my mother, a type of neglect that would make you shudder. A history left unhealed only invites a pattern to be revealed. A history hidden in the subconscious mind. A pattern that must repeat itself over time, until the lesson has been learned, confronted, and then overturned. Years later, I found myself in the bathroom crying, stuck in a relationship where I felt I was dying. Mental, physical, emotional pain. This demon began to have a name. Abuse. Why didn't I see it before? I was too young to understand I deserved a life that breathed more. I left the person who treated me wrong, and I started to write my own song. One that would give me the strength to pursue the vision inside a young girl once knew. I rose from the ashes of abuse, created an empire to shake them in their boots, moved to Italy to pursue my dreams. I published several books and created a life on the screen. I did everything I wanted to and more. I built myself back up from the core. I explored the country far and wide. Europe was my playground, and I found love in the sky. I realized I was the creator more than ever before, the only person who could open the door to the abundant life that little girl dreamed of, painted with pure divine love and freedom. So now you know a little more truth, a glimpse inside as to what tortured this youth. Respect and kindness forevermore. May we all love each other like we never have before. A life of freedom is what we all deserve. Eyes to be seen and a voice to be heard. Never dull yourself down to fit in, to stay safe, or to keep people from knowing your true faith. You are rare, unique to its own. May you always feel planet Earth is safe to call your home. So, there we go, healing again. But that's a poem that I wrote, and it just came out of me. I wrote that in maybe 20 minutes because I was able to access this place inside that I didn't know existed, because I dedicated myself to a writing practice. And in reflecting on that, I can acknowledge myself. I can acknowledge my emotions. That was the first time that I really felt like I put a name to the demon that kept presenting itself in my life as abuse. And until we're willing to acknowledge, until we are willing to acknowledge things, we can't move forward, because it's we can become aware, and then we acknowledge ourselves, and then we have the opportunity to move forward without said things. And I felt like when I wrote that poem, I really gave myself permission to be done with abuse. Like, no one's going to abuse you anymore, because you're so aware and you will stick up for yourself until the end. And I learned that, and I found strength in that through writing. And it's beautiful, and it's such a self-love and healing practice. And yeah, here we go. Now I'm gonna have to end another video because I'm feeling into my emotions, because I'm healing every day. And with that being said, I just wanted to bring these ideas, this concept, these learnings, these teachings, this vulnerability to you today, so that it could offer some awarenesses, some insights, some opportunities for you to learn and grow, perhaps through your own writing practice, through perhaps taking a course, to perhaps dedicating time for yourself to explore what's in your subconscious through the magic of writing. And with that, I will let you go. and I will go heal some more. And sending you all the love, and I hope you have an amazing day.